I think that's the last one. Just wait there. Oh, there we go, mate. We've done it. Yeah, beauty. Here we are in the Simpson Desert, reenacting Augustus Popel's original trip back in the 1870s, when he stepped his way right the way across the border to the intersection of the three states. But he didn't get it exactly right, as we found out much later, and as you'll find out later too. Meanwhile, come with us, four-wheel driving in one of the most iconic places on earth, the Simpson Desert, the heart of Australia, the world's best country. Something you have to do. It has to be on your bucket list. This place is just too good to miss out on.
Looking for a mad deal on the gear that you're chasing? Like this awning, I've got you covered. Keep an eye out throughout this video for an exclusive discount code and get 10% off store-wide for all 4-wheel drive Supacentre YouTube subscribers. And as always, enjoy this adventure because this is an epic trip.
At almost 180,000 square kilometres, the Simpson Desert is the largest paralleled sand dune desert in the world. It has a legendary reputation amongst four-wheel drivers as one of the most challenging and unforgiving expeditions in Australia. It's hard to believe that a land so beautiful can be so brutal. The heat in the summer can rise above 50 during the day, and sometimes you can get below freezing temperatures at night. But I reckon we're up to the challenge of conquering this adventure. On this trip, I've brought some of my family. Yep, that's the handbrake, or Karen as everyone knows her, and two of our boys. This is Joseph and Tom. Holly, our elder daughter, isn't here on this trip. And of course, because I've got Karen and the kids with me, I brought along the mustard truck. The 2H has been turbocharged since you saw it last time, and it's going like a train. Glenn Hatton hoped to have his wife Vanessa along, but she couldn't make it at the last minute. That didn't stop him bringing his two boys too. That's Ryan and Alex. And of course we got Feral Dave along. Good old Feral Finance Dave. He's bought his patrol and he's out to show us all what he can do. And this is George from Medicar in Perth. He is one of Australia's gun mechanics. I'll tell you what, we're doing really well if something goes wrong on this trip. If you're heading into the Simpson, preparation is everything. Water is the most vital thing. You can survive weeks without food, but without water you're dead in days. As far as food goes, you're going to need lots of refrigerated stuff. I like to cryovac meat. That's definitely a must on a trip like this. Channel 10 is the desert crossing channel, and the whole idea behind this is that if you can hear chatter, you know someone's coming your way or coming up from behind you. You need sand flags, of course. If you haven't got a good high sand flag, people can't see you coming over the top of the dunes, and that's when accidents occur. Sat phones are a great idea. If you haven't got one, this might be a trip where it's worth hiring one. Might save your life. As far as fuel goes, you're going to use at least twice as much fuel out there in the soft sand. So if your vehicle's got a certain range, divide it in two and carry the right amount of fuel. Carry some spare fuel if you can, because you're going to need it. We're planning to take on the QAA line from Birdsville in a bid to reach Popel's Corner. From there, we're going to do a big loop using the K1 line, which is a rig road, and Knowles Track. Then we'll return back to Birdsville on the QAA. Entering or exiting the QAA line from the east, we need to cross over the infamous Big Red sand dune. By the time you get to Big Red, you want to have let your tyres down. I'm running 16 PSI in the Troopy, and I've got the trailer tyres down to about 12. When you're running your tyres down like this, you want to make sure they're good quality tyres, or they're just going to peel off the rims or stab the sides out. Certainly they're fine for this trip. They've got plenty of traction and all the strength I need. This is it, guys, just over this hill.
Oh, awesome.
And we'll be there.
Yeah.
You get your first look at it.
Wow, that's beautiful. Oh, somebody already there.
How's that? Once we're on top, we can see the challenge ahead. This is it, guys. The Simpson. Only another 1,100 sandhills, just like that.
Hey, we made it. Now we've got a couple of thousand k's to go or something, is that right?
We'll be right. How'd you go, guys? You up?
Hey John, I've come all the way from Perth to be here with you guys, and I must admit I'm as excited as a 13-year-old boy with internet connection.
Yeah, well our 14-year-old hasn't got internet connection. Alrighty, this is really good. I reckon we should roll on. Away. The QAA line is easier if you're heading west to east, as the slopes of the dunes are more gradual, while east to west they tend to be much steeper. So this first dune should be a good indicator of how we'll go. Let's do it! Okay, hang on team. Oh, Karen looks a bit nervous. Hang on dear. It's very steep. Give it the bearings anyway. Yep, we're doing it. Good old mustard. Oh, I reckon she's got this. Come on, go! Oh, so close. It's this corner at the end that just beat me. I can't go any quicker than that, so I might have to come back. Ferrell, we might have to pop you on top or something and winch off.
Mate, love to.
Typical Simpson scenario, too much weight to get over the sandhill. I'm bogging down right on the top corner there, which is typical too, they always do that, softer sand. So we're going to put both the Nissans in front on snatch straps, and hopefully, like a great big train, it'll pull the Toyota and the camper over the hill. Yep, you're right folks, one Toyota would pull it easily, but two Nissans, well, it almost makes up for it. We should be able to get across. A little bit unorthodox, but once it gets going, you're talking about 12 wheels turning around, which should get us over the top quite easily. Now, you don't want to do something like that unless you're dead sure there's nothing coming. With a cameraman on duty with really sharp eyes, we should have no dramas at all. Beautiful job. Thank you very much, guys. That was insane. Bit of Nissan power, you know. It'll only take me half a day to get the black smoke off the truck, but hey, all's good.
I think between 2 4-cylinders we made a dirty big V8, a 6-litre V8 in fact.
That was a lot of torque going on there, a lot of torque. I wonder how Gleno's going. With the rest of us over, Glenn's into it. Oh dear.
Gleno is going back for another shot.
You know it's steep when Gleno gets stuck, but it's just the nature of this particular sandhill. They're all different right across the Simpson. This one's got that last minute twist at the top, all that soft sand. He's done it, and he's done it because he did it on momentum. All he had to do was get another 10 feet further and he was over. Well done, mate. There's water up front here, guys, and I don't think I've got any alternative. I'm going to have to hit it.
Water in the desert, something you don't see every day.
The water's left over from some rain a little while ago, about a month ago. It's an amazing sight to see it in the desert. It's about the only water we saw too once we got past the lake. Fortunately, it had a fairly firm base. Hey, I forgot to shut my foot flap, Tomo. Oh, what about you, Kez?
Yeah, I'm swimming.
You're swimming. How'd the big motorboat go, Glenn?
Yeah, mate, went well. Let's hope that this will get bogged in there, eh?
Oh, it's our only hope.
First Nissan through.
Second Nissan through. Was I supposed to do that in 4-wheel drive?
Oh, go home. See these sand hills, guys? They're just like waves in the ocean, aren't they, you know? You get a set real big ones, then you get a set of small ones. And Hang on. Well, with all these smaller sets of dunes, we've been going fine for a while. Unfortunately, it's short-lived. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Oh. Wow. Oh, so close. Poor old Elvis got plenty of power, but no traction. This sand is so soft. But I've got a bit of an idea. Everybody hop out. You guys all hop out. I'm just going to get the family out. Handbrakes out, that's 300 kilos gone. We'll just get the boys out. Righto, hey Tom and Joe, hop up the back of the camper trailer and push. Come on you guys, get up the back and give us a push. Okay, when you hear the engine rev up, okay? Sometimes you can be just so close that just a little push and a bit less weight is enough to do the trick. And I reckon this might be one of those times. Ooh, come on you guys, push hard. Okay guys, I'm just going to roll back a bit. Just move out of the way for a sec. I'm just going to lock my diffs. Righto guys, hop back in and push. Oh, we got everything resting on this, but it's so close. Will it kick over? Oh no, I'm losing it in the back corner here. Hang on, we're just going to get the shovel and clear a bit of sand because we're that close it's not funny. We're right on the cusp here. Go, get that sand out in front of the wheels. Good having Tom along, I can teach him a few desert tricks, like how to dig holes. You might have trouble getting your kids to help you with the gardening, but out here, boy, it's all hands on and they're loving it. We are that close, you know. It's finding traction, it's moving forward a couple of feet at a time, and right there it gets hard, right in front of us. So it's just a chance, all working together, rocking back onto the lumps and pushing forward. We can do this on our own. Otherwise we'll have to get the boys up and get a bit more of a shove, because a little bit more of a shove and we'd do it, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
But we want to show the Ruth family can do it on their own. Well, I want to show that. Come on guys, hop up behind the trailer, we'll have another crack. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is going to be so close. It won't take much. Yes, we're doing it. No, we made it. Yes.
About time.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I still get the same excitement doing this stuff all these years later. Oh, now I'll just leave the family behind. Come on, run! Well done, mate. Well done. Fantastic job. Ah, with the others across with no problems, we're on our way again, and I can see now how this trip is going to be. It looks as if there's going to be some easier stretches where we can cover a bit of ground, but there'll be the odd dune that just stops us. That's all there is to it. The desert has really changed since my last outing. It would have been 5 years ago and it was dry as. And I've come back this time and all I can see is foliage everywhere. But of course they had quite a lot of rain last year and the year before. I mean, last time Graham was here, it was absolutely wet through. And everything grew. Now, of course, as is the way of the desert, it's all dying off in the sun.
Good mate, she just stopped.
Oh well, here we are about 55 k's into it, and this Sandhill's pretty much got us beat. We'll get over it tomorrow, but you know, we've got about 20 minutes of sunlight left, half an hour tops. That's enough time to find some firewood, get the camp set up, relax, and tomorrow morning that hill will be a piece of crumpet. No problem, we'll do it before breakfast. The complete campsite trailer is one of the best thought out camper trailers on earth. It's also one of the very few you can bring to a place like this and it'll stay totally dust tight. It's got compartments all over the place and one of the quickest and easiest to set up tents I've ever used. The successful homeowner in the Simpson. Our camping trips are just like yours. Everybody helps out, all the kids get involved, and I don't know, somehow it just pulls the whole family together. It's all about teamwork, isn't it? You know, a desert trip, and this is when your family really gets a chance to be a team. Oh, mate. When you're camping right out in the desert, it's just a really good time to get to know your kids. Do a bit of that old family bonding stuff, you know. Where's that? Is that the 53? Where are they? How long do rockets go back, eh? I mean, I was mucking around with them when I was a kid, and here we are. We've done this a few times before at home, but there could be no better place than the Simpson Desert to launch a rocket. Funny thing with the rocket, everybody wanted to offer a bit of a hand to help build it. We all wanted to see it get finished. Eventually it's ready, and the trick will be now to wait for the right conditions to launch it.
Get more for less at 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre with incredible deals on Adventure King's camping and outdoor gear. Take your camping experience to the next level with the amazing Grand Tourer Mark III aluminium rooftop tent, the rooftop tent that practically sets itself up. King's portable gazebos are built ultra strong with a tough steel frame, are easy to set up even by yourself and are available in multiple sizes for the campsite or the job site. The incredible new 270-degree freestanding awning can be set up in just 40 seconds and wraps around the side and the back of your car for incredible amounts of shelter. Hit the water on a King's inflatable stand-up paddleboard for an insane amount of fun at the beach, the river or the dam. But warning, it's highly addictive. Plus there's fridges, solar panels and more to make every adventure incredible. At 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre, you get more for less.
After a great night's sleep in the camper, it was absolutely magic to get up the next morning nice and early and do something about getting some breakfast going. You know, the two best times a day in the Simpson has got to be early morning and late in the afternoon. That's when the place just comes alive, the colours are just ferocious. Talking about ferocious, I reckon we've got some ferocious hungers over here. The family's not up yet, the kids aren't out of bed, having a bit of a sleep in. I reckon the smell of this bacon will get them out though. George has got a plan to show Glenn's boys a bit of bush tucker. Get a load of this.
Yeah,
All right, come on. We'll go down to the base of the tree and we'll have a look and we'll see where the animals have been foraging during the night. All right, come down here, come and help me.
Oh,
Get
do
down.
I have to dig it up?
Keep digging.
What is that?
Oh, look at that. Isn't that great? What do we got? What else have we got? Some bacon.
We must You've been putting it in the
No, I haven't.
If you have, come.
Bush tucker, oh, little emu eggs and
That's not bush tucker.
witchetty pork. No worries, Hasbro. As soon as the boys are up, the flies are up. But who cares? Just pretend you're putting raisins in the scrambled eggs, eh? Pretty soon we're looking at packing up, and of course, this time of the day is when you've got to do a little bit of maintenance. Just check everything out, oil, water, tyres, wheel nuts, that kind of stuff. You don't want things falling off in the middle of the desert. Get your maintenance done every morning. This is as far as we got yesterday at 6:30, and I can see why. It's quite a long hill, and it's very soft, which is why the solo vehicles might be able to get up here with a good long run up, but trailers, it's going to be almost impossible. So I think the plan will be, once we're all packed up, we'll get the two Nissans up and over the top and use one of those as a winching platform, and with a good winch extension strap and a good run up, we should be able to just tug it over the top, so to speak. First thing in the morning in the Simpson. What a glorious place to be. I can see Ferrell's new Roo winch on the back here. I reckon we'll give that a bit of a workout. It'll be a big workout too, pulling 4.5 tonnes of Troopy over the hill. Anyway, let's see how far we get today. Hey guys, I'm kind of hoping George sails straight over the top, and so do you, Farrell.
We've got Nissan power, mate. We'll get there, no worries. We won't even need the 4th cylinder.
What do you reckon, George?
Well, we'll give it a crack, eh?
Oh, I tell you what, those West Aussies know about sand, don't they? Look at George go. You beauty.
He's off into orbit.
Good on you, George. Good on you, mate.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad actually. It was pretty good.
All right, Farrell. This is going to look terrible if you don't make it.
I can't let down the side.
It might be Farrell's first trip to the desert, but he's done an awful lot of sand driving over on the coast in Queensland. Go there, Farrell. And he's got a whole lot of that Roo Systems power too. He's straight over like a rocket. Hardly know it was a Nissan, really. Beautiful job, mate. Beautiful.
Had to back off it halfway up there.
Sure.
Righto. I reckon I'll give the old mustard a hit.
Go mustard!
Well, I'm as far back as I dare, and I'm giving it everything she's got. There's just a chance we can do this. Come on, old girl. Do it. Man, we're 10 foot from the top. I'll tell you what, that's the difference a bit of tyre pressure makes. Farrell, I don't need much of a tug at all.
You want to give this winch a workout, mate, or just a snatch?
No, we'll use the winch because I am buried. I've managed to bury it.
I'll come up and give you guys a hand.
Just before this trip, Farrell fitted a new Roo Systems winch to the rear of his patrol too, so now he's got one up the front and one up the back. I'm a big believer in not straining winches more than you need to at any time.
Perfect.
Doubling them up is the answer. Righto, mate, give it heaps of tension. Let me know when it's really working hard. Give us a thumbs up, and that's when I'm going to drive. I'm trying to keep the wheels turning just at a bare minimum here, just enough to help out with the unbogging process. Keep winding it. Any more than that, and it'll bog it quicker than it'll get over. We're going, aren't we? Yeah. It's under a lot of strain, Farrell, but it's pulling well. And finally we're there. Good one, Farrell. Well, we're over that one.
Bit of just.
Good on you, mate. Winch works a treat, Farrell. If you guys can move out of the road and I'll get well clear and get down into the flat country, because, you know, Glenn will probably come over like with his wings out doing 300 miles an hour.
Righto, we're going to give this a red hot go, Rising.
What?
Fire me up, mate.
With the slightly lighter trailer and about twice the power, Gleno's into it, and pretty soon he's sailing over the top.
Over the 200.
Beautiful job, mate.
Hey, go the 200, go the 200.
Meanwhile, while I was waiting for Glenn, I found a bit of an electrical problem. Well, this is what you call a weirdo problem, I can tell you. Everything up the front's filthy, all around the battery. It's been doing something, you know, the heat under the bonnet and everything else just corroded everything really quickly, because it was okay a couple of weeks ago. And then we sorted all that, but we still weren't getting any charge to the back. Blown fuse, found that. Everything else, you know, everything seemed pretty right. And then George here, there he is, folks. You need to send to Western Australia for a George when you break down like this, because this is the weirdest thing. Basically, the trailer batteries, a couple of big 6-volters, were sucking through the DC plug and sucking too much power, so the whole thing just cut out. And that's what was popping it. So now I've got a choice. I can keep the fridge cold in the trailer by keeping that topped up, or I can keep the beer cold in the back of the truck by keeping that plugged in. So I think we'll keep the beer cold. Pretty Pretty soon we got it sorted out so we can run both fridges just by hot wiring it through all the way. Fairly essential, I guess. At least with the old 2H we can always tow it if we get stuck. But by now, it's not electrical problems that's beating us, it's the conditions. We've had 2 days in a row of solid 50-degree maximum temperature during the day, and at night it hasn't been going down below 30 until 4 o'clock in the morning. That's really knocking it out of everybody. The exhaustion is setting in. Inside the mustard truck, it's probably about 65, 70 degrees off the firewall. No chance of the air conditioning working. To be honest, this is hard. It really is. The whole floor's just cooking up, isn't it?
I can't put my feet on the floor.
Hey guys, do you remember Graham's DVD of The Simpson? Yeah. I remember when they went through that really deep creek. This is it, Air Creek. They had water right up over the windscreen. Yeah. I kind of wish I was on Graham's trip. You could go a bath.
Yep.
You could go a bath too. And you. And you.
You need one.
Now, if you take this up and spoon out some sand. After years of playing on the beach, my boys are really good at mucking around in the sand, which is kind of handy. Here you go, fellas. Take a max track. Don't worry if you can't hear the ocean. We'll get out of here in a minute. Well, I didn't have the lockers on because you shouldn't really need them, so if I put the locker on, it might just pull it onto the tracks now, and we just need to go just to there, basically. We only need to do 10 feet, and we'll get enough hard sand to go over the top, so.
Okay, good, because I'm not pushing it now.
Hey, I need you pushing. And you too, Joe. Oh, fine. Up the back on the trailer, and don't forget where you leave the shovel.
Yeah, I'll put it.
Nice.
All right? Yeah. Boy, am I lucky I get to do the driving. How good's that? A 4-wheel pull, and that trailer's just plucked straight out of the sand. Soft sand, trailers and stinking hot weather is really chopping into our fuel consumption. We're going to need a change of plan here. Well, here we are at 25, 51, 22.7 south, 137, 59, 53.3 east, which is meaningless to me, except I know we've just popped outside of the National Park, and Poples is probably about 30 k's up here. Pretty soon there's the turn off to the K1 line. That's great. I know where I am thanks to the HEMA, but what I hadn't figured on was how much fuel the old truck would use towing the trailer. We have done 140 kilometres from Birdsville, and I've used 2/3 of a tank of fuel. I've got 2 spare jerrys, which is enough to fill it almost to full again. In a way, because I know that it's a little bit easier going back this way, steeper hills but less sand, in a way I'd be almost happy to go with 1/4 of a tank in reserve by the time I got to Birdsville. But you know what that means, don't you? That means that really we've got to make a choice somewhere down here. I don't think we can do our original plan. I think we've got to work out what we're going to do. So with the help of the HEMA and the maps and the boys, that's what we're going to do. 17, 100 and... We're going to get to Poples easy. Poples and back easy. You know what? I don't think we've got enough fuel between the lot of us to get to Munzerani. So I'm thinking what we might have to do is go into Popel, have a bit of a play around and head back. Never ever be frightened to change your plans if you've got a problem like this. The Simpson Desert is not a place to muck around with no fuel. Mustard's got hung up now more times than anything else because it's towing the heaviest camper. So Gleno's graciously offered to stick the complete campsite behind the mighty 450 horsepower V8 and send it into orbit. And I'm going to tow the other camper. Hopefully the half tonne or so of difference is going to speed up our trip a little bit, because we do need to try and kick our way into the desert a little bit further than we're going at the moment. We're up against a really big dune here and everyone's wondering if the change is going to make a difference. I sure hope so. Whoa, all right! Oh, yeah, great. This is what we wanted. This is brilliant.
Righty. Alex, let's go.
Hopefully Glenn will do it easy and we're on our way. Good luck with it, mate. Big mission. And Glen hose it in nice and easy. Whoa, that's the way to travel. Complete campsite beyond a 200. Well, with no more issues crossing the dunes, we reached the salt pans near Popel's Corner just in time to set up camp. And boy, did it feel good. Glenn's got the leisure matters along. Being a hard floor, it's absolutely magic for his 2 young sons. That way, they're all in the same compartment and it's easy to set up. Well, 10 to 7, and we've just hit camp, and just in time too, to witness possibly the most magnificent sunset since last night. The Simpson Desert. Could be hot during the day, but gee, it turns it on at night. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow morning with the Salt Lake right here, down there in front of us, this is going to be one of the prettiest sunrises on earth too.
Oi, Dad, have you got the fire lighter?
Hey mate, I've got something better than that.
What?
You remember this? We've done this. Tom and Joe have spent a lot of time in the bush with me. And they're right up on their bushman skills too. They love the whole thing, just like your kids do, I'm sure. Wait till it catches fire.
Wow.
It gets hot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, go now. This is a great way to light a fire if you get really stuck. And you just happen to have some steel wool. Because all you need then is a bit of a car battery. Not even much of a car battery. You got it, mate? I'll leave it to you guys. You got it under control. Or out of control. One way or the other. Put a few sticks in, get it going.
Yeah, nice.
It's still pretty hot, but by crikey, what a beautiful night for a really good cook-up.
Get more for less at 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre with insane deals on King's DIY storage and 12-volt gear to build your dream 4-wheel drive. Whether it's an inverter you need to run 240-volt gear on the job site or the campsite, a battery box or a 12-volt control box to easily access your power, King's 12-volt DIY gear is what you need to take your 12-volt setup to the next level. Need a battery? King's has you covered with a full range of AGM, slimline and lithium batteries in sizes ranging from 98 amp hour to 200 amp hour. All built with ultra high quality components to go the distance. And of course you just can't beat King's solar panels and blankets to silently charge your batteries anytime the sun's out. At 4-Wheel Drive Supacentre, you get more for less.
Last night around the fire, George and I were talking about bush survival skills. You know, things that can really get you out of trouble when everything goes wrong. And George mentioned the solar still, which of course, right out here in the middle of nowhere, to go without water is the one thing that can really crunch you. Now, Tomo, you're right into SAS stuff. How long can someone survive without water?
3 days.
3 days. How long can someone survive without food?
3 weeks.
Yeah, except for me, maybe George and Joe, but that's the whole thing, 3 days without water. You haven't got a chance. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take some leaves from these dry old trees and distill the water out of them just using the sun, a piece of plastic and a pair of secateurs. Kind of handy that we had those along in the truck. If we were really serious about making lots of water, I'd make it a whole lot bigger. But today, all we want to do is show the kids that it works.
I'll go and get some more.
Righto, George. Thanks, mate. That in the middle. Righto. We'll just spread this over. All you've got to do is get some sort of plastic sealed over a big hole full of greenery and then weight it down in the middle with a rock or something so that as everything condenses, it runs down the plastic, drips off the point in the middle of it and into your bowl. We're going to have to give that a while. We'll give it the rest of the afternoon. We'll come and have a look and see what it looks like. Well, we're a bit light on fuel anyway, so we've decided to leave the trailers here and go out to Poples and have a look around, have a bit of an explore. So that's why I made sure I put a waypoint on the HEMA so I know how to get back to this camp. Don't want to lose everything out here, it tends to all look the same.
Cool.
And this way we can go and have a really good day. Okay, let's get into it. I want to visit a couple of places this morning. Firstly, the real site of Poples Corner, and then we're going to try and find the site of Poples Oil Well as well. That could be interesting, I've never been there. Hang on guys, bit of angle here. Whoa. But to get there, we've got a bit of tricky four-wheel driving to do first. Yeah, beauty! Whoa, bit of a steep one here guys. Oh, no. Take a bit of muscle to get up this. Hang on, you got you blokes. We're going a bit cross-country here. Someone's been here before, but they must have had a decent four-wheel drive too, because this is not the easiest track around. The handbrake and the kids aren't too bothered at all about me chucking the truck around. We've chucked a few trucks around in our time. Right, I think we'll try another gear. Hang on.
That looked fun.
Hey, that was really cool, guys. That was a lovely little whoopsie-doozy. Hey, Ryan, tell the old man to give it the berries, mate. I do. Jeez, Glenn, looks like your driving's boring, Ryan. Didn't take Ferrell long to get the hang of this Simpson desert driving, did it? He loves it. Good on you, mate.
Hey!
Yeah, I say you just won the Olympics for jump.
Must be why they call them sand grapers. They're always good in the sand. Good on you, George. Earlier on in the program, we looked at where Poples actually got to. But this is the real intersection of the three states. This is the one that should be here because it's been marked by GPS, satellite, all that kind of stuff, you know. You know what happened to Poples? He measured it with a chain. Poples came the whole length of the border with a 22-yard chain. And that chain stretched over an inch by the time he got into the desert country. So what he was doing was pegging that chain down, pegging it here, unpegging it there, moving it on, pegging it again, on and on and on, all in the company of his camel. By crikey, what a pioneer. Hard enough out here with four-wheel drives and a bunch of your mates. Mind you, you know, it's a good thing they didn't invent television in his day, isn't it? Come on, let's go do some more driving. Wow. Out here you really are in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't help but wonder how Poples felt all those years ago. It's just amazing to think of those early explorers and pioneers and how tough they really were. This is incredible country, but boy, it can be super harsh too. Having followed the HEMA, we made it to the well. When they drill a big hole, this is the site of Poples Oil Well. Abandoned no less, and you can see why, because they didn't hit oil, they hit water. Well, I'm betting they hit the artesian basin because it is under there and water bubbled up. Off you go. So the drillers moved on, the oil drillers, and the water resources people came along, capped the bore. Righto, I tell you what, you know, when they go to all the trouble of marking the map with something as exciting as this, you know there's not a lot except Simpson Desert for a long, long way. Okay guys, well let's just move over there to the Poples oil drill bar and discotheque and see if they got any steaks and a bit of mushroom. And,
Go on, Phil. Your shout.
Chili sauce. Having completed our objectives for the day, we followed the HEMA back to camp. But I wondered if we'd struck some water with our solar still. Let's see how we went, eh guys? We'll just brush the dirt off. Corner, Tom. And look at that. Hey, we got water.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it, eh? Ah, well, there you go. There's not a lot of water in there, but if you had a few of these little stills set up, you could make enough water to survive until help came, with a bit of luck. At least you got something to do, so you're not sitting there thinking about how much you'd like a drink. Righto, fellas, let's get going, eh?
Who's thirsty?
Who's thirsty? Grab that bag, Joey. I'll tell you who's thirsty, this wild bush cat that had wandered under my truck to get a bit of shade. I don't know if this cat's future would have been quite as good if the handbrake hadn't been here, I can tell you that. I'm not so impressed with cats in the desert, mostly because they weren't here last time I was and there was a lot more in the way of little animals around the place. But suddenly the cat got spooked and he dived up under the engine of mustard. Oh, he'll come out when we open this. Hello, cat. Oh, you're a tough-looking critter. You told me I'd get a tiger in every tank, has been, with the turbo, but I didn't think you're serious, my man. With the lure of a bit of water in a bowl, the cat plucked up his courage and dropped down for a drink. There he goes, he's dropping out. Still don't like seeing cats around here, though. It's not good. It was now time to get ready for our journey back to Birdsville, and this means fueling up, packing up and getting on our way. I'm hoping the west to east journey will be as I expect it to be, which is easier than the outbound journey. We've decided to keep the leisure matters on behind Mustard Truck and Glenn with the complete campsite. That way that'll give us a better chance of getting back by nightfall. It's a long way and it's going to be a big push, but I reckon we can do it. As we made a mile, we covered quite a bit of good ground, and we only had a few problems. Well, you know, so far coming back on the QAA line's been really easy. It's been no real drama with the lighter trailer, but I'm just getting it all wrong on this June. By this stage, everybody knows what to do. We're all good at this now. We were doing it. We were crossing the QAA line in great time. It was a whole lot easier going this way, so we decided we'd better do what the boys had been waiting for, the rocket launch. There's a little bit involved in these things. Make sure you read the instructions before you do it yourself. These gunpowder rockets need a little launching pad with their own wire antenna sort of thing, a bit of a guide to send them straight up. And of course, you've got to detonate the things and stand well back.
Hang on, John, I've got one more touch.
This will make it really go, Glenno. For years I've been doing these trips on my own. This is the first time ever I've brought some of my family on a DVD trip. And you know what? I just love them more than ever. They've been fantastic company, they really have. They've been tough as through the hardest trip I've ever done in terms of temperature and heat and dust and flies. And you know what? We've stuck together, we've hung out, and I reckon we're just stronger than we ever were as a family. This is fantastic. Righto guys, it's been a huge day. We've only got one more challenge I think, and that's the one they call Big Red. Must be just about our last hill.
Yeah, let's hope we don't have any issues getting over that. It's getting late.
You can tell Glenno's hanging out to get to the Birdsville pub. Come mate, we'll be there soon, I promise. And there it is, the mighty Big Red. Big Red is not just the first sandhill on the Simpson crossing, it's also the biggest. Really got to concentrate here, I can't see. Joe's next in line. He's got all the power in the world, but he has got the slightly heavier trailer. He's going to come up the same track. He's going to give it the berries right from the bottom.
Here we go, boys. Last hill and Simo. Woohoo! And we're up. Hey.
Next up is the mighty Feral Dave. Ah, he's a top bloke. And that patrol of his, it's a really good unit.
Hey, we're nearly there. Last hill.
He's just straight over, no problems at all. And of course, haven't seen him do it.
Coming up, guys.
George doesn't muck around. He just nails it, comes on over the top, easy as.
And over the last crest.
You got to give it to these patrols. When they're going, they're quite good.
Boy, am I looking forward to that first beer in Birdsville. And a big steak.
And a shower.
And a shower.
Hey, that was a pretty full-on trip, wasn't it?
Karen thinks I'm trying to kill her.
That's just normal, Karen.
There you go. Curry camel for you. Best pies in the world. Wow, what a trip. The Simpson Desert, you know, you can throw it up tough, and it did for us. Stinking hot, plenty of flies, dust everywhere. I'm so proud of my family for enduring everything they did and coming out and enjoying it too. We've had an epic adventure, haven't we?
It's been an adventure.
Yeah, it really has. It's the sort of thing that pulls a family together, and it also proves a whole stack of other things too. We got the experience that Augustus Popel would have got. We've got the experience that the pioneering families of these areas would have got in the days before air conditioning and pubs and all that other wonderful stuff. Yep, at the end of the day, a Simpson Desert trip has to be on your bucket list. You just got to do it. It's one of the most extraordinary parts of the planet, let alone this wonderful country. Ah, I love you guys. You're just great. You've done so well. Come on, camel pies and a glass of lemonade on me.
Forget building your own set of storage drawers or paying well over $1,000 for a set elsewhere, and get your hands on a set of incredibly tough and unbeatable value for money Titan storage drawers. Our entire range of Titan storage drawers have been built to handle just about anything you can throw at them. All models of Titan double drawers come with an included built-in fridge slide on the left-hand side, saving you up to $200 compared to some other brands that charge extra for a fridge slide. Each drawer top also has these heavy-duty spring-loaded tie-down points to secure your gear on even the most corrugated roads. We've put them through their paces like none other. We've jumped on them, overloaded them with bricks, chucked an engine on the drawers at full extension, absolutely flooded them and used them off-road year after year to prove just how tough they are. The Titan 900 single drawer is perfect for those who have limited space to install a storage drawer. It has internal dimensions of 430mm wide, 790mm long, and 190mm deep. The Titan 900 double drawer setup is ideal for smaller wagons like Prados, Pajeros, and SUVs, with the internal dimensions identical to the 900 single drawer on each side. The Titan 1300 ute drawers are made specifically for vans and utes. The internal dimensions are 1200mm long, 430mm wide, and 150mm high. The 1300mm single drawers are also a cracking addition to the back of vans and utes. The internal dimensions are the same as the double 1300 drawers, but have an extra 40mm of depth, making them 190mm deep. And finally, for the bigger wagons like Land Cruisers and Patrols, the double 1070 storage drawers have internal dimensions of 880mm long, 470mm wide, and 180mm of depth. They come 95% pre-assembled, and all you need to install them is a couple of basic hand tools and a couple of hours on a lazy Sunday arvo. You can also add optional wing kits, both model specific and DIY, so you can finish off the back of your four-wheel drive and have plenty of storage available for your next adventure. Take your setup to the next level with the incredibly tough and unbeatable value for money Titan storage drawers.
If you're after a next level 12 volt upgrade for your vehicle or your next camping trip, then check this out. The Adventure King's 120 amp hour lithium battery. This uses high capacity, brand new grade A lithium iron phosphate cells capable of thousands of cycles. It's paired with a high quality BMS able to output up to 160 amps of current. The future of 12 volt setups is here. Lithium batteries are super lightweight and still have heaps of power capacity. In fact, this battery weighs just over 15 kilos. That's about half as much as a similar capacity AGM. But that's not all. Lithium batteries have the ability to use their entire capacity from 100 to 0% and still have an incredibly long life. The reason Adventure King's lithium batteries are so good is because they use lithium iron phosphate chemistry. That means if you're using the entire 120 amp hours of capacity in this battery every day, it would still last almost 5.5 years. Some cheap lithium batteries use grade B or even second-hand cells to keep the cost down, but not here. Adventure King's lithium iron phosphate batteries use brand new grade A prismatic cells. When these batteries are assembled, each individual cell is matched with others and then grouped. Then those cells are balanced, which means that these batteries always function at their best and ensure you have full capacity. Another major feature of these Adventure King's 120 amp hour lithium batteries is the high quality internal battery management system. This BMS for short takes care of the individual cells. It balances them while you're charging your battery. It prevents overcharge, over-discharge, over-temperature, and short circuits. A high quality BMS is so important, and it's also incredibly important to match the BMS to the cells and the use of the battery. A good indicator of a high quality BMS is to look for high current discharge and charge ratings. This battery is capable of charging and discharging constantly at up to 100 amps, and it can do a peak discharge of 160 amps of current. A high discharge current and a high peak discharge current are very important if you want to run things like inverters that need a lot of power when they turn on to fill the capacitors. If you're looking at a battery that has a much lower charge and discharge rate, they could be cost cutting by using a cheaper BMS. Lithium iron phosphate is a safe technology, unlike some other lithium chemistries, and Adventure King's lithium batteries are doubly safe. Not only are they sealed and safe to use in your vehicle, they've also passed a short circuit test, overcharge test, over temperature test, and a vibration test, so they're ready to be put to use. Some lithium batteries are extremely sensitive to hot and cold temperatures, and they can be damaged or destroyed by trying to use them. Adventure King's batteries though can be charged anywhere from 0 to 50 degrees Celsius and used or discharged anywhere from -20 right through to +60 degrees Celsius. They use threaded M8 terminals for high power output and easy connection. Measuring it at 330mm long by 162mm wide and 215mm tall, they fit perfectly in an Adventure King's battery box for a lightweight and powerful portable power station. And with 120 amp hours on tap, you could run a camping fridge for 5 or even 6 days. Or you can permanently install them in your vehicle for a next level super powerful setup that barely weighs anything. And for that reason, they're perfect for your four-wheel drive, motorhome, caravan, or camper trailer, where you need to be concerned about GVM and GCM limits. So if you want a safe, lightweight, super powerful, and super long-lasting lithium battery for your next level setup, you can't beat an Adventure King's 120 amp hour lithium battery.
Introducing the incredible Adventure King's Premium Camp Oven Stove. Your new best mate for delicious barbecue or campfire cooking and warm, cozy fires whether you're at home in your backyard or at your favorite campsite. Let me show you all the things that I absolutely love about it, and I'm sure you're gonna love too. This amazing bit of gear has been designed right here in Australia, and it combines a camping stove and a portable barbecue into one. It can run off multiple fuel sources: wood, heat beads, charcoal, briquettes, and more. When it's time to cook up a feast, you can fit 2 large pots or pans on this huge flat cooktop surface that measures in at 520mm long by 300mm wide. That's enough space to cook up a feast for the entire family. And because it runs on wood or heat beads, you can leave the gas bottle behind, one less thing to pack. And when you want a beautiful roaring campfire, use the included hook tool to simply lift the 2-piece lid off completely and just add in some more firewood. The raised and closed design means you won't risk scorching your grass, your deck, or even your driveway. And you'll be able to use it for a beautiful warm fire at campsites that don't allow open ground fires. Plus, your fire would last longer because you're closer to the heat. Now that's cozy. The enclosed design means it's super efficient, and you can make the most of your fuel by directing the heat exactly where you want it. You can even adjust the temperature of your fire by varying the airflow. With these sliding vents on the side, a 2-piece removable lid on top, and an adjustable flue, you're always in control. Remove the entire lid for an open fire, or just this circular inner piece if you need extra heat for cooking, like searing steaks to finish them off. And this up here, now that is a real game changer. A chimney that extends over 2.4 meters off the ground to direct smoke away from your campsite for smoke-free campfires. You can even position the premium camp oven stove under your awning, your gazebo, or your shed for maximum warmth. And the angular offset chimney piece allows smoke to funnel away rather than getting trapped underneath. There's even a spark arrestor on top for good measure. There are so many more things to absolutely love about the King's Premium Camp Oven Stove. It's been designed to be super sturdy with these 4 large legs that extend the footprint a foot wider in both directions for excellent stability. The legs simply screw into the bottom like this, and you can remove the middle piece for a lower fire. This huge access door swings open with the included hook tool to allow you to easily refill the Premium Camp Oven Stove as required. Inside, you've got this fuel rack that keeps your wood or your charcoal up off the floor, maximising airflow and preventing wasted heat. It's a breeze to transport, set up and pack down too, with no tools required. Each of the 4 2-piece legs simply screw together and the chimney pieces pack into each other, with everything fitting into the main body of the Premium Camp Oven Stove for simple transport. Make sure you don't miss the incredible genuine cooking accessories available too, like a proper wood-fired meat smoker and a clever barbecue hot plate set to really take your camp cooking to the next level. And a stainless steel water boiler too. Whether I'm at home in my backyard or out camping with family, my mates, or even by myself, I absolutely love my Adventure King's Premium Camp Oven Stove. It's a portable fire pit, it's a wood or charcoal barbecue, and it's the centerpiece of every backyard get-together or camping adventure, and I know you're gonna love yours too.
Introducing the insane new Adventure King's 9-inch lethal LED driving lights. These things have an amazing combination of both spot and flood light. They have 21,840 lab-proven effective lumens per pair. That's over 2,000 more than the previous generation. Plus, they have huge light distance performance with 1 lux at over 1.3 kilometers. These are the LED driving lights that other lights wish they were. You asked and we listened. You said you wanted even more flood of light out of your LED driving lights to light up the sides of the road, the highway and the tracks. We went back to the drawing board to redesign the lethal LED driving lights to produce exactly that. At the same time, we upgraded the lights to the ridiculously tough King's Laser Light die-cast aluminium housings and 3mm folded steel mounts. So not only are these some of the brightest LED driving lights we've ever sold, but they're also the toughest. How bright? Try a lab-proven 21,840 lumens per pair and 1 lux of 1,342 meters. That's real-world lumens too, not the theoretical lumens that some lights claim they produce. That's thanks to the genuine German-designed Osram LEDs for simply unparalleled light performance. We've also re-engineered the lethal lights with a new 5,185 Kelvin color temperature. That means they're just a little bit more on the softer, warmer side. Still a clear, crisp white light, but that little bit easier on the eyes when driving long distances. And of course, you get all the features and quality you'd expect from Adventure King's driving lights, like polycarbonate lenses, the same stuff riot shields and fighter jet canopies are made of, and an IP68 water and dustproof rating, meaning these lights are waterproof to a depth of 1 meter for an hour. Plus, for the first time ever, they're rated to IP69K. That means they can withstand high pressure jets of hot water. That tough die-cast alloy housing features passive cooling fins and a waterproof breather for longevity, and they have the ability to run on both 12 and 24 volt, meaning they're suitable for everything from cars and four-wheel drives to trucks and machinery. Including the brackets, they measure 250mm high, 230mm wide, and 115mm deep. They have an attachment system that uses two 8mm bolts on either side to positively lock them in place and prevent them from falling out of alignment. And of course, they use the same plug as all previous Adventure Kings lights, which makes them an easy 10-minute upgrade. Just unplug your old lights, bolt the new ones on, plug them in, and you're ready to go. Add in a 2-year warranty and you've got a simply incredible set of lights that leave the competition looking a little underwhelming. The Adventure Kings 9-inch lethal LED driving lights are the best value LED driving lights on the market. We've re-engineered them to be incredibly tough and incredibly bright. They'll turn night into day, and they're on sale right now for a price you have to see to believe.
You asked and we've listened. The incredible MT1 Go Anywhere camper trailer has just received an ATM upgrade to 2 tons. All new Adventure Kings MT1 camper trailers will now come with the new upgraded 2-ton ATM. But don't worry if you already own an MT1, because a retrofit upgrade kit is available too. The MT1 is already an ultra tough trailer with a one-piece 150x50mm chassis that extends right from the drawbar all the way to the back of the trailer. Now it's even tougher with upgraded suspension, bearings, brakes and wheels to bring it up to a 2-ton ATM. The brakes are upgraded from 10-inch to 12-inch electric brakes. The alloy rims are now rated to 2-ton ATM. And an upgraded set of suspension arms also suit the upgraded ATM. And for existing owners, the retrofit upgrade is incredibly easy to do at home yourself. Everything just bolts onto the trailer with no modifications needed. That extra payload capacity means that you've got more ability than ever before to carry the gear that you need and still remain legal. For more information and full detailed specs on the MT1, see the 4-wheel drive Supacentre website. Now with a 2-ton ATM upgrade, the Adventure Kings MT1 Go Anywhere camper trailer can carry more gear than ever before.